The stars shone brightly over the Valari homeworld, a planet known for its calm seas, tall crystal towers, and gardens that stretched across endless plains. The Valari people lived in peace for centuries, building knowledge, science, and art instead of weapons. But peace can be fragile, as they were about to learn. In the capital city of Lyrian, Counselor Vena stared at the message that had arrived earlier that day. Her slender fingers trembled slightly as she traced the symbols on the glowing screen. The words were simple, but their meaning was terrifying. "Zurich approaching, we cannot hold them, help us, anyone who can." The Valari had fought small wars before, but nothing like the Xir. The Xiric were biomechanical creatures, a race that devoured worlds to build more of themselves. They did not reason, they did not feel, and they did not stop. Entire planets had fallen to their relentless advance, leaving nothing but shattered metal and ash. Vena turned to the other council members, her voice steady but tight. "We must call for aid," she said. "The Galactic Council must respond. Alone we cannot survive this." The chamber was silent. The Valari were not warriors. Their strength was knowledge, diplomacy, and careful planning. They did not know how to fight a creature that destroyed everything without hesitation. Even the idea of asking for help made some of them uneasy, for they had long believed in peaceful solutions. "Do you think anyone will answer?" asked Councillor Relin, his eyes wide. "We are known for science, not war. Most species may think we are weak." Vena nodded. "Perhaps, but we must try. Lives depend on it." Within hours, a message was sent to the Galactic Council, an alliance of advanced species spanning hundreds of star systems. The Valari described the Xiric invasion, including the planets already lost, the numbers of their enemy, and the urgent need for assistance. They did not exaggerate. Meanwhile, on a small blue-green planet called Earth, far across the galaxy, the message reached human leaders. Earth had always been underestimated by other species. To many, humans were primitive, still learning to survive in space, still divided by nations. Yet humans had something others did not. They were hardened by survival. Earth itself was a death world in many ways, full of dangerous creatures, harsh climates, and unpredictable natural disasters. In the high command of Earth's planetary defense, General Kara Jin studied the Valari message. She was tall, strong, and known for her clear thinking in crisis. Her fingers tapped the table as she read and reread the plea. "These Valari," she said, looking at her officers, "they are peaceful, unprepared for war, and they are in trouble. The Xiric sound dangerous. If we ignore this, they may vanish, and the galaxy loses knowledge and allies. But if we go, it will not be a simple mission. They need real soldiers, real survival skills, and we are the only ones prepared for this kind of fight." Captain Elias Ward, one of the youngest commanders in the fleet, raised an eyebrow. "General, you're saying humans will go into Xiric territory? No backup, no treaty, just us, the Valari, and their invasion?" "Yes," Kara said firmly. "We are the Deathworlders. We survive where others fail. If anyone can help, it is us." The officers looked at one another, some with excitement, some with fear. None doubted the danger. Earth had not fought an interstellar war before, but humans had endured countless dangers on their own planet. Volcanoes, storms, predators, hostile terrain. They adapted quickly, learned fast, and never gave up. Now their survival instincts would be tested across the stars. Within days, Earth prepared a fleet. Massive ships, armored and armed with weapons designed for unknown conditions, left orbit. Humans did not travel in small groups. They traveled in numbers ready to endure any environment, any enemy. As the fleet passed through hyperspace aboard the flagship Iron Resolve, Captain Ward walked along the observation deck. He watched the stars blur past. "Do you think the Valari are ready for us?" he asked. General Kara smiled faintly, though worry lingered in her eyes. "They expect diplomats, maybe scholars. They do not expect soldiers hardened by a death world. They will be shocked." The Valari were indeed shocked. When the human fleet arrived in their space, the serene crystal cities of Lyrian trembled at the sight. Humans were not graceful like the Valari, They were large, armored, and moving with the precision of hunters. Their ships were like mobile fortresses, bristling with technology the Volari had never seen in action. Counselor Vena and a small group of Volari emissaries approached the humans in the docking bay. She stepped forward, bowing as a sign of respect. Yet even as she did, she felt unease. Humans did not bow in return. They studied her, serious and calculating. "Counselor Vena," General Kara said, her voice calm but commanding. "We received your message. You asked for aid. We are here to help. But know this, we do not negotiate with invaders. We survive, and we will fight." The Volari exchanged nervous glances. They were not used to soldiers who spoke like that, and yet, somehow they felt a spark of hope. "The Zurich," Vena began, but Kara interrupted. "We know. We have faced danger before. We will adapt. We will endure. Your people will survive if we are together." Over the following days, humans and Volari worked to combine their knowledge. The Volari shared star maps, enemy reports, and strategies, based on their intelligence gathering. The humans analyzed these with sharp efficiency, highlighting weaknesses and planning how to strike. In a council chamber filled with holographic displays, Captain Ward outlined his team's plan. "We cannot fight like the Volari," he explained. "Their ships are fast but lightly armed. The Zurich overwhelmed slowly, carefully. We will bring survival tactics from Earth. We fight where others fear. We turn the environment into a weapon. We adapt." The Volari listened, astonished. This was a new way of thinking. Their people had always avoided unnecessary risk, believing knowledge alone could solve problems. Humans did not hesitate. They acted. Outside in the orbital fields, human soldiers trained in zero gravity and simulated alien environments. They practiced moving through toxic air, acidic rain, and jagged terrain. Their focus was not perfection. It was survival, adaptation, flexibility. Counselor Vena watched from a distance. The humans moved like predators, but not cruelly. There was discipline, intelligence, and a strange confidence. The Volari realized they were witnessing something extraordinary. "Perhaps," Vena whispered to Relan, "we have underestimated them. They may be what we need." Or, Relan replied softly, "They may be the only hope." The stage was set. Across the galaxy, the Zurich advanced, unaware that a new force had entered the battlefield. They thought they would face Volari resistance alone. They did not expect Earth's Deathworlders, humans toughened by a planet that had never been kind, to arrive with courage, cunning, and unyielding determination. As the human fleet prepared to move toward the first Zurich-held planet, General Kara looked at her crew. "Remember," she said, "we are not just soldiers. We are survivors. We are the Deathworlders, and we will not fail." The stars ahead glimmered with danger and promise. Humanity, small in the galactic scale but fierce in spirit, was ready to show the galaxy what Earth had forged: strength, courage, and adaptability. And the Volari, watching from their towers, below felt a hope they had not dared feel in centuries. Perhaps this time they would not fall. The call for aid had been answered, not with diplomats, not with scholars, but with the fierce, relentless survivors of Earth. The galaxy was about to see the Deathworlders in action. The human fleet emerged from hyperspace above Volari space, with a quiet hum of engines and power shields glowing softly. The stars stretched endlessly, but below lay worlds already scarred by the Zurich invasion. Planets, once thriving with Volari life, now bore blackened landscapes, shattered cities, and the silent ruins of technology. General Kara Jin stood on the bridge of the flagship Iron Resolve, her gaze fixed on the holographic displays showing the first target planet. "This is what we came for," she said, her voice steady. "A place that would crush ordinary beings, but not us. Not humans. We adapt. We survive." Captain Elias Ward nodded beside her. "Our scouts report toxic clouds, jagged terrain, and high radiation levels. Volari forces have tried to stabilize the area, but the Zurich are too strong. We'll need to move carefully." The Volari emissaries, including Counselor Vena, observed quietly. Their pale hands clutched each other, reflecting the tension of watching humans prepare for a world they themselves could barely survive. "You are certain you can operate in those conditions?" Vena asked, her voice soft. Kara smiled faintly. "We do not just operate, we thrive where others fail, you will see." The humans began deployment immediately. Orbital dropships launched from the fleet, carrying squads of soldiers and specialized equipment designed for extreme conditions. The soldiers were not typical warriors. They were survival experts. Each team carried tools to handle corrosive, acid-freezing winds and creatures adapted to kill anything that wandered into their territory. As the first dropships touched down, the Zurich reaction was immediate. Biomechanical tendrils emerged from the cracked ground, moving with unnatural speed. Metallic exoskeletons shimmered in the toxic light. The Zurich had expected Valari defenders, gentle scholars and diplomats, not soldiers hardened by a planet of deadly extremes. The humans responded instantly. They split into small teams using terrain to their advantage. Some climbed jagged cliffs to gain high ground. Others used chemical dispersers to neutralize the acidic environment. Drones mapped the area, analyzing Zurich movements in real time. Captain Ward moved with a squad through a narrow canyon, the air heavy with toxic fumes. "Stay low," he ordered. "Watch for movement. Adapt. Never stop." One of his team members, Lieutenant Mara Chen, signaled toward a shadow shifting across the cliffs. With a calculated throw, a stun grenade rolled across the rocky ground. The Zurich shrieked as the electrical pulse spread, temporarily disabling their sensors. The humans advanced, keeping tight formation, moving as one unit. From above, Vena could only watch. "They are not like any defenders we have seen," she whispered to Relin. "They are alive in a way we cannot measure. They think differently. They act differently. And somehow, they survive everything." Meanwhile, humans were already creating forward bases. These were not simple camps. They were hardened positions designed to withstand both the Zurich attacks and the environment itself. Reactive shields blocked toxic rain, and filtration systems purified the poisoned air. Trenches and barricades were built quickly, turning the planet itself into a defensive tool. "Every hazard is a weapon if you know how to use it," Captain Ward explained to his team. "The ground, the cliffs, even the weather, everything can be our ally. Adapt, survive, and the Zurich will not know what hit them." As the first night fell on the alien planet, humans lit controlled fires to warm their positions, using heat sensors to detect approaching Zurich. The Valari were astonished. They had never seen such preparation, such practical intelligence in real time. On the battlefield, the Zurich advanced in waves, expecting easy prey. But humans were not prey. They moved through the toxic mists like ghosts, striking with precise attacks and vanishing before retaliation could begin. They improvised constantly, using fallen debris to create traps and lure the enemy into disadvantageous positions. Lieutenant Chen led a team through a ruined Valari research facility. The building had been partially destroyed by Zurich, but the humans adapted the remains into a forward observation post. Using Valari data, they calculated Zurich movement patterns, predicting attacks before the enemy even launched them. "This is remarkable," Vena said quietly. "They turn ruin into strength, chaos into strategy. They survive where we would perish." During one skirmish, a massive Zurich beast lunged from the shadows toward a small human squad. Its claws could crush steel, its teeth could tear through reinforced armor. But the humans did not panic. They spread out, baiting the creature into a narrow pass. Explosives detonated above, sending rubble crashing down. The Zurich was trapped, and humans swiftly neutralized it with coordinated fire. "The planet tries to kill us," Captain Ward said afterward. "But we learn faster than it can. This is the advantage of a Deathworlder. We turn danger into opportunity." The Valari watched every move with growing admiration. Their people were brilliant but untested in this environment. Humans, by contrast, seemed to carry the death world in their minds, the knowledge that survival demanded adaptability, courage, and relentless effort. By the end of the first day, humans had secured multiple key points: forward observation posts, supply depots, and fortified positions dotted the planet. Zerg scouts had been pushed back, and survivors reported confusion among the alien ranks. The humans' methods were unlike anything the Zerg had encountered. In the evening, Vena and Kara met in a small Volari command center. "You are not just soldiers," Vena said, her voice tinged with awe. "You are something more. You survive everything and turn it into strength." "How?" Kara considered the question. "Earth is not gentle. Our planet forces us to be creative, to fight smarter than the dangers we face. We carry that instinct with us. Every Deathworld is training for survival. Every challenge makes us stronger. That is why we are here, and why we will succeed." Night deepened across the alien world. Human patrols moved silently. Drones scanned for movement, and command centers analyzed data from every skirmish. Volari scientists began to take notes, realizing that survival was not just about technology. It was about mindset, instinct, and courage. The first dawn over the Zirk-held planet was grim. Toxic clouds still hung low, the landscape scarred by previous battles. Yet from the rocky heights, human squads signaled readiness. They were not defeated, they were not afraid. They had adapted to the Deathworld. And for the first time, the Yao. Volari felt hope. "Tomorrow we strike deeper," Captain Ward said to his squad. "Every challenge we face will teach us something. Every enemy attack will make us stronger. We survive, and they will not expect it." As the sun rose, its weak light filtering through the toxic haze, humans prepared to move out. The Zirk were advancing, but humans had already learned the ways of this hostile world. Every step, every breath, every action was calculated for survival and victory. The Volari, once doubtful of Earth's warriors, now saw something extraordinary: courage, ingenuity, and adaptability forged from hardship. The humans were not just soldiers, they were Deathworlders, and their presence would change the battle forever. And so, the first day on the alien world ended, not with despair, but with human determination. Survival, adaptation, and careful strategy had turned the tide. The galaxy had underestimated Earth, but the Deathworlders had arrived, and the Zirk were about to discover just how dangerous humanity could be. The day began with a dull orange light spreading through the poison sky of the first Zirk-controlled planet. Toxic clouds still hung low, dripping acid rain that hissed against the fortified human positions. Yet, despite the danger, the humans moved like they belonged here. To the Volari, who watched from behind shields and observation decks, it was both terrifying and awe-inspiring. Captain Elias Ward surveyed the field through his scope. "The Zirk have mobilized," he said. "Their first wave is coming, from the northern cliffs. Expect them to be aggressive. Expect them to be relentless, but they will not break us." Lieutenant Mara Chen nodded. "We're ready. The terrain favors us, and we've prepared traps along the ridgelines. They'll walk into them if we stay patient." The humans had spent the previous days transforming the hostile terrain into their advantage. Crumbling buildings became observation points. Jagged rocks hid motion sensors, and narrow passes served as deadly choke points. Every natural hazard, every crevice, every toxic cloud was used as part of the strategy. From above, Volari scientists recorded the movement, their eyes wide with astonishment. "They do not just fight," whispered Counselor Vena to Relin. "They control the battlefield. Every step, every obstacle is a weapon in their hands." Suddenly, the first Zirk emerged. Towering figures of metal and sinew with clawed limbs and glowing cores advanced in waves. Their shrieks echoed through the canyon, a sound designed to paralyze lesser species with fear. But the humans did not flinch. Instead, squads spread out, moving silently along the high ridges. Motion sensors triggered explosive traps beneath the advancing Zirk, sending showers of rocks and debris onto their armor. The creatures roared in confusion, unprepared for such precise, calculated attacks. Captain Ward led a small squad through a narrow canyon, the ground slick with acidic runoff. "Keep low. Move fast. Watch each other's backs," he ordered. His team responded without hesitation, their movements practiced and flawless. One Zirk approached, larger than the rest, its limbs like blades. Mara Chen raised her plasma rifle and fired a precision shot at the creature's exposed joint. Sparks flew. The Zirk staggered, unbalanced, but still advanced. Another soldier lobbed a magnetic grenade, sending it crashing into the canyon wall. The humans moved as one, combining intelligence, speed, and raw courage. Above the battlefield, Valari scholars observed through protective shields. They took notes, trying to understand how humans could survive such a dangerous environment. Their coordination, their speed. "It is beyond anything we can teach," Vena said. "It is instinct. Adaptation. They have turned the Deathworld into an ally." Meanwhile, human engineers worked in the background, reinforcing the defensive positions and setting up automated systems. Drones hovered above, scanning for Zirk movement and feeding data to squads below. Every sensor, every weapon, every step was connected. The battlefield became a living map of human ingenuity. Hours passed. The Zirk continued to press forward, but each wave was met with precise resistance. Humans did not simply fight. They predicted, trapped, and outmaneuvered the enemy. Even when the aliens adapted, the humans adapted faster. At one point, a Zirk ambush caught a small human unit off guard. The creature's claws tore through the rocky wall, sending shards flying. For a moment it seemed the humans might falter, but Mara Chen's squad reacted instantly, using grappling hooks to climb the walls, throwing stun grenades to disable the creature's sensors. Within minutes, the ambush was neutralized, and the humans had turned the attack into a trap, capturing data to use in future confrontations. "This is remarkable," Counselor Vena whispered. "Even when caught off guard, they survive. They learn instantly. Their minds are as sharp as their reflexes." By midday, the humans had cleared several key positions. Supply routes once blocked by Zirk forces were reopened. Forward observation. Posts provided real-time data to the command center. The Valari had never seen such efficiency under pressure, but the battle was far from over. From the horizon, a massive Zirk war machine emerged, larger and more dangerous than anything the humans had faced so far. Its limbs could crush vehicles, and its core glowed with energy that could melt through armor. Captain Ward's eyes narrowed. "This is it. Focus fire on its joints and sensors. Use the terrain. Lure it into the traps. We cannot let it reach the base." The humans split into squads, moving strategically through the rocky landscape. Some drew the Zerik's attention, while others attacked from hidden positions. Explosives sent debris raining down, slowing the creature's advance. Plasma rifles fired with precision, hitting weak points identified from careful observation. The Valari watched in awe as humans coordinated the attack, not as individuals but as a single entity. Every move was calculated yet flexible. Every hazard became an advantage, and every soldier survived, using instinct honed from surviving the harshest conditions on Earth. Finally, after hours of battle, the massive Zirk fell, its body twisted. Across the rocks, sparks and energy arcs scattering in all directions. The humans had won, but the victory came at a cost. Some soldiers were injured, some equipment destroyed. Yet their spirit remained unbroken. Captain Ward walked through the battlefield, checking on his squads. "Everyone accounted for?" he asked. Mara Chen nodded. "All present. We held the line and we learned everything we needed for the next fight." The Valari, approaching cautiously, finally stepped onto the battlefield. Counselor Vena's eyes swept across the destruction, but also across the human soldiers who had endured, adapted, and won. "You have done what we thought impossible," Vena said, her voice trembling with admiration. "You survived where we would have perished. You are not like any species we have known. You are Deathworlders," Karajin smiled faintly. "We survive because we must. Every challenge makes us stronger. This planet is harsh, but we turn its dangers into tools. That is how humans fight. That is how we survive." As night fell, Humans set up defensive positions once again. They treated their injured, repaired equipment and prepared for the next wave. The Xeric would return, stronger and more numerous. But humans had proven one thing. They could survive. They could adapt. And they could fight in ways no other species could imagine. Volari scientists began to take notes inspired by human methods. They saw how survival was more than technology. It was mindset, courage, and the ability to turn danger into advantage. For the first time in centuries, the Volari felt hope. Perhaps with these humans by their side, they could survive the Zerk. Perhaps together they could reclaim what had been lost. Captain Ward stood on a ridge looking at the stars. "We are not done," he said softly to his team. "But we have learned, we have survived, and we have adapted. Tomorrow, we push further, and the Zerk will see the true power of Deathworlders." The toxic clouds swirled above. The alien winds howled through the canyons, and the distant horizon burned with the glow of destruction. Yet, on the battlefield, humans moved with calm precision, ready to face whatever the galaxy could throw at them. The first major clash was over, but the war was just beginning, and the Volari knew that with humans fighting alongside them, the impossible might just become possible. The Deathworlders had arrived, and the Zerk would never forget them. The Xeric forces were regrouping. Across the scarred landscapes of their first conquered planet, they moved like a living storm, relentless and calculated. Yet the humans, hardened by centuries of survival on Earth's harshest terrains, were ready. Their squads spread across multiple valleys, cliffs, and ruined cities, coordinating attacks with precision the Volari could hardly believe. Captain Elias Ward surveyed the battlefield from a ridge. "They'll come in waves, faster and stronger this time," he said. His eyes scanned the toxic horizon, noting every shadow, every movement. "We hold our ground, we adapt, and we teach our allies to do the same. Today the Volari fight like warriors, not bystanders." General Karajin nodded beside him. "They're ready to learn. They've seen what survival looks like. Now they'll fight with it." Across the battlefield, Volari units moved alongside human squads. Initially hesitant and uncertain, the Volari watched how the humans adapted to every hazard, every ambush, every sudden threat. Humans showed them how to turn environmental dangers into weapons. Acidic pools became traps. Jagged rocks became cover. Toxic winds were used to mask movement and confuse the enemy. Lieutenant Mara Chen led a small team through a ruined Volari research station. She activated a series of makeshift sensors and alarms, which the humans had rigged to alert them to Xeric movements. "This station may be ruined," she explained to the Volari soldiers following her. "But with the right eyes it becomes an advantage. Watch closely." As the first wave of Xeric advanced, the humans and Volari moved in perfect coordination. The alien creatures charged, confident in their strength. But the humans were faster, smarter, and unpredictable. Mines exploded in carefully timed sequences. Plasma rifles fired with calculated precision. Even the harsh environment was used against the invaders. The Volari, observing from behind protective shields, began to understand. "It's not just strength," Counselor Vena whispered to Relin. "It's intelligence, strategy, and adaptability. Humans survive because they turn danger into a tool." In the chaos of battle, a massive Xeric war beast lunged toward a group of Volari engineers. Its claws glinted under the toxic sun, ready to crush everything in its path. But before it could reach them, human soldiers sprang from hidden positions using grappling hooks to swing down from cliffs. They launched coordinated attacks, striking the creature's weak points and driving it back. Captain Ward's voice echoed through comms. "Protect our allies, adapt to their tactics, and keep moving. Every obstacle is an opportunity." By midday, the humans had led a decisive counteroffensive. Volari units, once hesitant and uncertain, now moved with confidence. They understood how to combine their technology with the humans' battlefield instincts. Together, they pushed the Xeric back, reclaiming lost positions and clearing paths for reinforcements. From a hilltop observation point, Vena watched a group of human engineers repair a damaged Volari transport vehicle. "They do not just fight," she murmured. "They teach, they inspire, they survive, and they show others how to survive." The Zirk, sensing the humans' effectiveness, regrouped for a larger assault. Their next wave was massive, designed to crush all resistance in a single strike. Yet humans anticipated it. They set traps, reinforced positions, and coordinated attacks across multiple points. Lieutenant Chen led a squad through a ruined city center. Her team activated drone sensors, marking Zirk positions. Then, with precise timing, explosive charges detonated across the streets. Zirk forces stumbled, their momentum broken. Humans used this to strike from all angles, driving the invaders back further. Captain Ward and General Kara watched the battle unfold. "They've adapted faster than I expected," Kara said, her voice steady but filled with pride. "The Volari are learning. They understand what it means to survive under fire." The turning point came when a massive Zirk war machine emerged from the horizon. Towering over the battlefield, it advanced with unstoppable force, its limbs crushing buildings and soldiers alike. The humans did not retreat. Instead, they coordinated a daring maneuver. Using the ruined city as cover, squads lured the machine into a narrow canyon. Explosives detonated on either side, funneling the creature toward a trap. From above, human snipers targeted its joints and energy core. Robots and drones activated systems designed to overload the Zirk's biomechanical circuits. For hours, the battle raged. The humans never wavered. They adapted to every counterattack, used every environmental advantage, and coordinated, with the Volari like a single organism. Finally, with a coordinated strike, the massive war machine fell, shaking the ground and sending a shockwave through the city. The Zirk forces, shaken and disoriented, began to retreat. The humans had not only survived, they had turned the tide of the battle. In the aftermath, Captain Ward surveyed the battlefield. "This is what it means to fight as Deathworlders," he said. "We survive, we adapt, and we push forward." Today, the Volari fought with courage, but tomorrow they will fight with skill, and together, we will win. Counselor Vena approached him cautiously. "You have shown us a way to survive, and to fight. Your courage, your adaptability, your leadership, it has changed everything. The Volari will never forget this day." Kara, Jin nodded. "We do not seek praise, we survive. And we teach others to survive. That is all." The humans worked through the night, reinforcing positions, treating injuries, and analyzing the battlefield. Volari engineers observed, learning how to adapt their own technology for survival in hostile conditions. The Zirk would return, stronger and more numerous. But now the Volari were not helpless. Across the planet, the humans had turned every danger into a tool, every obstacle into an advantage. They had demonstrated the true meaning of survival. On a death world, adaptability, courage, and relentless determination. By the next morning, the humans had reorganized the Volari units. Soldiers who had once hesitated now moved with confidence, combining their technology with the humans' survival skills. Together, they prepared for the next wave of Zirk forces, ready to push deeper into enemy territory. Captain Ward addressed his squads. "Today we showed what it means to survive. Tomorrow we show what it means to win. Every challenge we face will make us stronger. Every enemy attack will teach us something new. We are Deathworlders, and no force in the galaxy can stop us if we fight as one." The Volari, once unsure and fearful, now marched alongside humans with determination. The lessons of survival, courage, and adaptation had been learned. They were no longer passive observers. They were warriors in their own right, inspired by humans who had turned the harshest environments into victory. As the sun rose over the planet, casting its weak light over ruined cities and jagged cliffs, humans prepared for the next phase of the battle. The Zirk may have thought themselves unstoppable, but they had underestimated the Deathworlders, and the galaxy was beginning to understand that Earth's humans were unlike any other species, adaptable, fearless, and unstoppable in the face of danger. The Zerk were relentless, but the humans had already changed the course of the war. Across the scarred planets, Volari and human forces moved with precision, pushing the invaders back. Every step was calculated, every strike planned. The Volari, once timid and unsure, now fought with confidence, inspired by the humans who had shown them the meaning of survival and courage. Captain Elias Ward stood on a ridge overlooking the battlefield. "This is it," he said. "The Zerk think they are unstoppable. They do not know what they are facing. Today we finish what we started." Lieutenant Mara Chen checked her squad, making sure every soldier was ready. Their armor was scratched and scorched, but their spirits were strong. "We've survived worse," she said. "This is just another challenge. Let's show them what Deathworlders can do." The plan was daring. Humans and Volari would strike at the heart of the Zerk forces, targeting the Hive world where the alien invaders coordinated their attacks. The Hive world was a fortress, a dark and twisted landscape filled with lethal traps, toxic air, and alien creatures designed to hunt and kill. General Kara Jin addressed the combined forces. "We move as one," she said. "Humans adapt to survive. Volari bring their technology and intelligence. Together we are unstoppable. Remember, every obstacle is a weapon if we know how to use it." The advance began under the cover of darkness. Human squads moved ahead, using grappling hooks and stealth techniques to navigate the jagged terrain. Volari engineers followed, activating sensors and mapping out the Hive's defenses. Every movement was precise, every step calculated. As they approached the Hive's outer walls, the Zerk launched their first counterattack. Biomechanical creatures swarmed the attackers, claws and teeth designed to tear through armor. But the humans did not panic. They had trained for this. They split into squads, drawing the creatures into traps, firing from hidden positions, and using the environment to their advantage. Lieutenant Chen led a team through a narrow canyon. Acidic runoff created steam that masked their movements. They deployed mines that sent Zerk soldiers flying into the walls, neutralizing the threat with minimal risk. Every tactic was measured, every move adapted to the alien world. Meanwhile, Captain Ward coordinated from a high ridge. "Focus on weak points," he instructed through comms. "Use the terrain, protect the Volari units, and remember, adapt or perish." The Volari marveled at the humans' skill. They had never seen beings survive so flawlessly in such hostile conditions. "They turned danger into advantage," Counselor Vena whispered. "They survive where we would die. This is more than strength. This is mastery of life itself." Hours passed, and the combined forces reached the Hive's inner core. The Zerk leader, a massive creature with glowing eyes and layered armor, emerged to defend its nest. It roared, a sound that shook the ground and sent shivers through the Volari. But humans did not flinch. Captain Ward led the assault, targeting. The creature's exposed joints while squads flanked from above and below. Mara Chen's team launched a precise volley of plasma shots that disabled its sensors. Engineers used the Hive's own machinery to trap and slow it. The battle was intense, but humans adapted to every threat. When one tactic failed, another immediately replaced it. Every trap, every maneuver, every improvised weapon was used to turn the Hive against the Zerk. Finally, after hours of relentless combat, the Zerk leader fell. The remaining alien forces retreated, disorganized and confused. The humans and Volari had done the impossible. They had reclaimed the Hive world. On the battlefield, the Volari approached cautiously. Counselor Vena looked around at the human. Soldiers, their armor scorched, their faces tired but determined. "You have saved us," she said. "Not just our lives, but our hope. You have shown us what courage, adaptability, and determination truly mean." General Kara Jin shook her head slightly. "We did what had to be done," she said. "We survive. That is all. The Volari fought well, and together, we won. That is enough." Captain Ward addressed the combined forces. "Remember this day," he said. "Remember how you survived when the odds were against you. Remember how you adapted when danger was everywhere. That is what it means to be a Deathworlder. You carry that skill with you, always. The Volari began to rebuild their world with renewed confidence. Scientists and engineers worked alongside humans to repair cities and technology. But the most important lesson had been learned. Survival was more than strength. It was intelligence, courage, and the ability to adapt to any situation. In the following weeks, the humans remained in Volari space, helping to secure other planets, threatened by the Zurich. Every engagement, every mission demonstrated the same principles: adapt, survive, and fight with intelligence and courage. The Volari people had never seen anything like it. They began to train their own soldiers under human guidance, learning how to combine their technology with the humans' tactics. Where they had once relied solely on intelligence and diplomacy, they now moved with confidence and skill. Captain Ward watched as Volari units learned to use the environment to their advantage, setting traps, coordinating ambushes, and adapting to danger with growing confidence. "They've learned quickly," he said. "Soon they will not need us as much. They'll survive on their own. That's how it should be." Counselor Vena approached him. "You have given us more than victory," she said. "You have given us the tools to protect ourselves in the future. You are more than allies. You are teachers, leaders, and legends in our eyes." Kara Jin smiled faintly. "We do not seek legends," she said. "We do what is necessary. Survival is all we know. If others can learn from that, then that is a reward in itself." As the human fleet prepared to return to Earth, the Volari held a ceremony in their honor. Ships lined the skies, banners waved in the gentle winds of the restored cities, and the people cheered. Humans stood quietly, accepting the gratitude without pride. They had done what needed to be done. They had survived, and they had taught others to survive as well. Before leaving, Captain Ward addressed the Volari leaders. "Remember this," he said. "The galaxy is full of danger. Every world is a challenge. But survival is about more than technology. It is about courage, adaptability, and the will to endure. Carry that forward. That is your strength." The Volari nodded, inspired, and determined. They had learned a lesson that would remain for generations. Humans, the Deathworlders of Earth, had shown them that no enemy was invincible, no challenge unbeatable, and no danger insurmountable. As the human fleet departed, the stars reflected off the sleek metal of their ships. Captain Ward and General Kara looked at each other quietly. "Mission accomplished," Kara said. "Yes," Ward agreed. "But the galaxy will remember this. They underestimated humans, and now they will think twice. We are survivors. We are Deathworlders, and the galaxy will never forget it." The Volari watched from their cities, a new hope burning in their hearts. The Zurich had been driven back, but more importantly, their people had learned the lessons of survival, courage, and adaptability. The galaxy had witnessed the strength of humans, not through domination, not through fear, but through the unyielding spirit of those forged by the harshest world. Humanity returned home to Earth, carrying the satisfaction of victory, the scars of battle, and the knowledge that they had changed the galaxy. They were not conquerors, but survivors, teachers, and allies. They had fought where others would have fallen, adapted where others would have failed, and inspired where others had despaired. The story of the Deathworlders spread quickly among the stars. Other species, once dismissive of humans, now regarded them with respect and caution. Earth's people were no longer underestimated. They were acknowledged as a force of resilience, courage, and intelligence. And on Earth, as the fleet returned to familiar skies, humans knew that they would face future challenges. But they also knew this: no matter the odds, no matter the danger, they would survive. They were Deathworlders, they were Earth's children, and they were ready for whatever the galaxy could throw at them next. The Volari, inspired and forever changed, began to build a new era of defense, knowledge, and courage. They would never forget the humans who came when they were needed most. They had arrived as allies, but they left as legends. The galaxy had been warned. Underestimate humanity. At your own peril, the Deathworlders of Earth had arrived.